Hey everyone, we are back with another fun product video. Today we are talking about the Trek RSL bottle and bottle cages. So I got these cages earlier this summer. I've done a few thousand miles on them, and I have a few thoughts and opinions of who these might be for. And we're also going to test every single water bottle type I own, including a 12-ounce can. So let's dive on in. This is the Trek RSL AERO bottle and cage. These MSRP for $109.99. You can find them online for about $100. They come in three colors. We have this black, which is actually not black. It's kind of like a nice carbon that's really dark, unidirectional. There is a painted white, and then the Trek little team colors in the blue. Supposedly these save 1.8 watts at 22 miles an hour on the Gen 8 Madone. This is the Gen 7 Madone. Trek did test these and said these were faster on other bikes. We'll just take their word, bro science, for that. Again, these are carbon caged. They weigh 35 grams, and they are BPA and phthalates, whatever that is, free and dishwasher safe, so that's kind of cool. When looking at these cages, I see these on every single crit bike at the races. I feel like I've seen them Cannondales, Specialized, yada yada yada. So clearly the market for the AERO bottle cage is strong and people want them. And I've had good luck with these. These hold bottles incredibly well, but getting the bottles in is really where it's a pain in the butt. So pulling them out, it's very stiff, and these have been worn in. Here's the bottle. It's an awkward shape. It doesn't lie flat. It lies flat there. On the back side, they got like this rail and everything for where the little Allen keys go through, you know, right there. Those little Allen heads is what I mean. These are 20-ounce bottles. They're called the RSL AERO, 595 milliliters. It's actually a lie. These hold more liquid than your regular Trek water bottles, or bidons, as some like to say. These are 21 ounces, 621 milliliters. These actually will overflow if you fill this one up to the top. And filling it up to the top is not really the end of the world. When you take it off, it's nice because they're, and I'm unscrewing it here, sorry, I've only got so many hands. When you actually screw it on, it directly lines up, and you can see it's asymmetrical side to side, and that's what the bottle kind of looks like. And then the cap is definitely differently shaped, something just to look at nice and up close. So when we actually get close up here, you can kind of see this lettering is actually kind of the same as the Trek logo here, and that just happens to be like that. It's got a bit of a holographic color to it. It says fast forward with a little like play button, kind of like a YouTube symbol, but like doubled up. And this is kind of what the cage looks like up close. We have two mounting rails, so very adjustable. But my biggest issue with this, and I ride a size 54, so not the world's smallest frame, but we obviously do have this giant beam here for the seat stay, is when you pull this out, it quickly gets caught into there, and so then you have to pull at an angle and kind of pull it out. And it's not the hardest thing to do, but while riding your bike, it's very hard to do. And that's actually the issue with these, because they're quite long in comparison to your average water bottle. So then when we come down the edge, and I just want people to see this, you know, it sticks out about a centimeter here. I do have my calipers, and we kind of get a sense of how far this sticks out from the bike. So we're about 1.7 centimeters here to the edge, and then over here I'd say we're about under a centimeter of width around. And when you measure the water bottle, these bottles are about a centimeter thinner than your average water bottle bidon, which I think is something to keep a note. So you do have a smaller CDA. Kind of see here, the bottle starts out skinnier and gets wider, and the widest point is actually all the way at the bottom, kind of where my pinky is. But it's less than, you know, it's about 2 centimeters, 1.5 centimeters thinner. So, you know, when you're putting them in, it's sometimes you really have to get them lined up, and sometimes when you're pressing down, they really don't go in. And there we go. But once they're in, they're locked in. These bottles are not going anywhere. I've not had a single issue with bottles falling out. I don't think that's going to be the issue on this bike. So we're going to test all these different bottles, and then I'm going to talk about kind of some other thoughts on this. So let's start with the most ridiculous. This is your average Gatorade bottle. No, doesn't work. We're going to start with another 12-ounce can. Nope. So now we're getting to the real water bottles. And so I have a huge variety. So we have two Trek water bottles here. We have the full-size large bottle. I think this is let's see here, it's upside down, 26 ounces, almost 800 milliliters. This actually fits really solid, like really well. Like that's not going anywhere. You got a nice lock right there with that carbon that's kind of pitched upwards. And then we have this cheap water bottle from my great cousin's sponsor. It's just, you know, one they hand out. That actually is held really well. Like, that's not going anywhere. We have the Phil Cookie, I Love Cookie Strava bottle. This is the next level up in terms of water bottle quality, I would say. This, I'd say, doesn't fit as well. It fits, it's very solid. But if this was filled with water, it would really stretch out this bottle. I think this is a bit thicker. And then I could feel it scraping some of the paint away because of this little lock as well. All right, so now we have some more water bottles that are more common. We have a Specialized bottle, another Specialized, the Trek regular size bidon. We have this style of bottle, which is like the higher version of that one. Nice soft plastic. So let's start with this. This is the ASOS. Fits solid. I actually think it's the same as the Phil Cookie Fondo. Really solid. They're handing these out courtesy of Caden Cycling. Good job, Burgoyne and Fetzger and Hollick on all their dubs this year. Another Trek water bottle. Obviously, this one should work. We did this for 1,000 miles back a few years ago. Take this one out. Now we have a Specialized water bottle. Definitely a slightly different shape. Solid. That's not going anywhere. I would actually use these on gravel. I think these are, they hold the bottles better than any other cages on the market. And I like how they can't fall out the bottom. It's impossible. You can see they're rubbing off a little bit, but then they clean up really well. You can see this white dust, almost all gone. Another bottle, courtesy of Wheel and Sprocket. Fits solid, nice fit, not going anywhere. And then finally my Team Bidon. This is a nice small, I think it's only 500 milliliters, made by Elite. Very common, really small. Got my little name tag on there so my teammates don't steal it. Solid. So when you have these water bottles in, you have all this extra space down here, which is really where the RSL bottles make up a lot of their capacity. But I think these are solid cages. If you have a bike frame smaller than 54, I would really go make sure you get fit to make sure there's enough of a gap to pull cages out. Now, if you're okay not using the RSL bottle cages, the smaller ones fit no problem, and they actually slide out a lot easier than the RSL cages. The RSL cages, the RSL bottles, excuse me, are much harder to get in and out. They're much more snug. There's much more surface area. You can see struggling, and when you're on the bike, I have to use this rear one only when I'm stopped. So usually I put my sugary drink in this one, and just sometimes you can see I'm struggling here. I've done this how many times, and I still pain in the ass. Let's try one more time. This is embarrassing on camera. There we go. But once it's locked in, it's locked in. And you can kind of see it creates a really nice arrow shape. Now we'll come over here. This one has its top off. You can kind of see this. It's nice because the top always lines up. And we'll see one more. Boom, locked in. So that's the Trek RSL AERO bottle cages and bottles. They look really good, really nifty. They make the bike look mean. You can see they really don't stick out too far. And if you're in the market for spending, $200 on cages and bottles, they might be for you. If you have any questions, feel free. I can create a follow-up video, anything you guys want. Thanks so much. Have a great day.